I'm Tanya Jake, and I wanted to share a little bit of information with you. So, I am obsessed with security headers, and I recently had on this awesome person named Scott Helm on my podcast, and we talked about a lot of the new security headers. So, I'm talking about application security. When you make a web app, it goes back and forth between the browser and the server that serves data to you. And one of the things your browser can do, well, actually, it can do a million things, but so a web app can send headers back to the browser and tell it how to act. And some of those, they do security stuff, so we call them security headers. And there's some new ones, and they all have to do with cross-origin resource sharing. So there's CORS, the original one, cross-origin resource sharing, which is CORS, that's why it's called CORS. But then there's a bunch of new ones, 4 new ones, that help you just be more specific. And the reason that those exist is because of side channel attacks. So a side channel attack is basically Spectre and Meltdown. And so let's say you have a browser and you have a zillion tabs open. Does anyone have that happening right now? Because I know I do. You want to make sure that one web app in one tab can't attack the other ones. That's a side channel attack. It's trying to break out of its tab, get into your tab, and check out your resources that are loading, or have you load its resources. And so CORB, cross-origin read blocking, was the last one. And so I've been working on this document actually for a few months, because when you are a content creator, sometimes things take a long time to make. And I was like, this will take an afternoon, it'll be so easy. And then I just didn't understand CORB, just didn't get it. And so what it does is it makes sure things load as the type that it is. So let's say you have an image tag and you're like, go get this image. If it's full of JSON or HTML or XML, it will go and get it, and then it could attack you with that code, right? And does that sound weird? Yes, it is. And so I've been trying to figure out, how do you implement CORB for like months? Because every article I read, including Scott's article, just to be clear, I didn't ask Scott, just say the syntax out loud during our podcast, because that would be a weird conversation. But anyway, so him and I discussed it, why it was important. I'm like, it's so great. I'm like, I'm just going to read the RFC. I'm just going to like dive down that rabbit hole because it's Sunday and it's raining outside. And so then I can't go outside and play on my farm. And guess what? It's on by default, and you don't have to configure it at all. And that's why I couldn't find it. So CORB is on by default in Chrome and other modern browsers, and has been for a long time, since 2021. And that's why I couldn't find anywhere how you turn it on, because it's already on. If you have a wicked old web browser, you can find another way to turn it on. But also just update. If you're a web developer, what are you doing? Update your browser, right? And so it's on by default. And what this means is that if you want to load things from other places, you should always turn on no sniff. So content type no sniff. So don't check what it is, like by sniffing it and then guessing. Look at what it says it is. Look at what the security headers say it is. Like, what does courts say it is? Don't just like sniff and guess, because you get that wrong sometimes and then attack happens. And so basically, yeah, you have to declare that you're sharing it, and then you should be good. But anyway, it's on by default. That's why there's no syntax around it. And I'm going to put that at the front of my article for when I get into that topic, so no one else has to be confused forever like I was. Anyway, I'm Tanya Jenka, and you can read my blog at shehackspurple.ca.